In the world of Korean cinema, where emotions are sculpted and love stories can easily follow a formula, Lovely Runner has done the unthinkable. It made viewers forget they were watching a film. And it was at the climax of episode 10, when Sol and Jae find themselves in the middle of a tragedy, that a crying scene, which might have seemed familiar, became an iconic moment of sincerity, empathy, and timeless love. But what made this moment legendary was not just what happened on screen, it was also what happened behind the scenes, where Byeon, Seok and Hye Yoon revealed a half-fictional, half-real bond that fans couldn't help but believe in. The crying scene, not just acting, but an emotional intersection of real and fake. Sol, from now on, don't run away anymore. Just like me, even if I die saving you, it's okay. This simple line cuts straight to the heart of millions of viewers. There's no need for the excessive melodrama typical of K-dramas. Ryu Sung-jae, Byeon Seok, just needed a few sincere words to express all his desperation and longing for love. What stands out here is that, he isn't trying to manipulate the audience's emotions, he himself is moved by the character's feelings. On the opposite side, Hye Yoon delivers a scene with almost no dialogue. But each small movement in her eyes, ranging from fear, to emotion, to hurt, creates a cinematic language that's deeply haunting. There's no superfluous words, no unnecessary gestures, only Sol's eyes facing the truth of love and time. It can be said that this scene is not merely a climax in a fantasy romance drama, but rather a moment of reality when the actors immerse themselves so deeply into their roles that viewers can no longer distinguish where the character ends and the real person begins. Behind the scenes, the subtle love revealed unintentionally. When the camera stops rolling, no one expected that what would make fans swoon wasn't the plot twist, but a small, quiet, and everyday gesture. In the cold spring backdrop, when Hye Yoon couldn't quite get into character due to the chill, Byeon Seok quietly rubbed her back and shoulders to keep her warm. It was just a small act, but to the fans, it was a testament to his care, transcending professional boundaries. Then, when the cameras were about to roll, Hye Yoon nestled her head against Seok's chest and gently slipped her hand into his coat. A natural moment so genuine that no one could have known the camera had caught it. No words were spoken, no acting required, yet that moment alone made the fans fall over with its sweetness and warmth. That hug wasn't acting. It was something that only happens when two souls truly connect, whether they're on set or just being themselves. Are shippers living in a real-life dream? The scene in the film and behind the scenes has inadvertently created an emotional maze for the viewers. Are we in love with Sol, Jae on screen, or are we truly infatuated with Seok, Hye Yoon in real life? When two individuals perform their roles so perfectly and then interact off-screen with such delicacy, it's hard to call it just fan service. The line between fiction and reality seems to blur. We've seen on-screen couples set the internet on fire with their chemistry, but perhaps no simple behind-the-scenes gesture has ever been powerful enough to create a global sensation like this. Some call them Sol Jae, while others call them Hye Yoon. But whatever name they go by, they've convinced millions of hearts to believe in something beautiful, that love, whether on screen or in real life, has the power to touch others. When acting transcends the script. Lovely Runner doesn't boast grandiose sets or an overly original script. But what the drama achieves is creating an emotional space where acting becomes the central language. The scene at the end of episode 10 is proof of that. There's no need for flowery lines, no need for exaggerated expressions, but the emotional impact is maximized. The meticulous direction, starting from rehearsing the exact placement of a hand on a co-star's cheek to carefully building emotional tension, was all aimed at creating a golden moment on screen. But without the sensitivity and finesse of the two lead actors, this scene might have been just emotional, not heart-wrenching in the way viewers describe it. Conclusion: one scene, one hug, a phenomenon. At its core, cinema is the art of evoking feelings. And when a single scene can simultaneously make people cry for the story, laugh for the behind the scenes, and dream about a love that transcends the screen, it's no longer just a standalone scene. It becomes a historic moment. The crying scene of Saul, Jae at the end of episode 10 of Lovely Runner, along with the sweet behind-the-scenes moment between Byeon Seok and Kim Hye Yoon, is a soft shot that hits the mark straight to the heart of the audience. It raises a profound question: is it possible that sincere emotions, even in acting, have the power to heal and connect? And when viewers continue to watch not just for entertainment, but to believe that kind of gentle love truly exists, perhaps cinema has achieved its greatest mission.